Not that long ago, in the grand timeline of Earth, humans weren't the undisputed rulers of the world. We were just one species vulnerable, inventive, and struggling to survive in a world filled with creatures bigger, stronger, and sometimes smarter than we give them credit for. Some of these animals have become legends, others have been forgotten. But what if I told you that our ancestors didn't just dream of monsters, they lived among them? This is the story of 10 ancient creatures that lived alongside humans. And trust me, reality is wilder than any myth. Towering over 13 feet tall and weighing up to 6 tons, the woolly mammoth was one of the most iconic Ice Age giants. With long, spiraled tusks and a dense coat of shaggy fur, these beasts were perfectly adapted to the brutal cold of the Pleistocene epoch. Humans hunted mammoths not just for food, but also for their bones and tusks, materials used to build shelters, tools, and even musical instruments. Entire tribes revolved around tracking herds, following their migration patterns across frozen tundras. They were painted in ancient caves like Chauvet and Lascaux, showing their spiritual and cultural significance. And perhaps most mind-blowing, while we often think of mammoths as prehistoric, a small population survived on Wrangel Island until about 4,000 years ago. That means they were still roaming the earth when the Great Pyramids were already standing in Egypt. With its massive, curved canine teeth, some growing over 7 inches long, the saber-toothed cat is one of evolution's most fearsome creations. Unlike modern big cats, Smilodon was built for strength rather than speed, with a thick, muscular frame and robust forelimbs that could wrestle prey to the ground. Smilodon hunted massive herbivores like bison and camels, often delivering fatal bites to the throat or belly. They lived across the Americas and may have even formed social groups, based on fossil finds that suggest injured individuals survived long enough to heal, possibly with help from their pack. To early humans, these cats would have been both awe-inspiring and terrifying, competing for the same prey. Tribes likely learned to avoid saber-tooth territory or face the consequences. Some believe these predators were the inspiration for mythological beasts like the manticore or chimera. The Megaloccerus wasn't just a deer, it was nature's crown wearer. Standing over 7 feet at the shoulder, with antlers stretching up to 12 feet wide, this creature was both majestic and a bit absurd. You could spot it from a distance, just by the silhouette of its sprawling antlers. These giants roamed the grasslands of Europe and Central Asia during the Ice Age. Despite their name, they weren't limited to Ireland. Fossils have been found across Eurasia. Their size made them a prime target for hunters, but those massive antlers may have also worked against them, getting caught in dense forestation as the Ice Age gave way to thicker woods. Cave paintings from as far back as 18,000 years ago depict the Irish elk, emphasizing its importance. It's possible humans not only hunted them, but also mythologized them, seeing them as symbols of dominance, fertility, or even gods of the forest. Forget everything you know about sloths. Meggathereum was no sleepy tree hugger. This ground-dwelling beast could grow up to 20 feet in length and weigh over 4 tons, making it one of the largest land mammals to ever walk the earth. Native to South America, Meggathereum walked on all fours, could rear up on its hind legs to defend itself, or reach high vegetation, towering over predators, and possibly even humans. Its massive claws, nearly a foot long, could shred bark or fend off large carnivores. Early humans in South America likely hunted these animals. Fossils have been found with clear signs of butchering. Some even speculate that humans may have driven them to extinction through overhunting and habitat disruption. Imagine being a young hunter in a small tribe, staring down this gentle but absolutely monstrous herbivore. It's the kind of encounter that would pass into legend. Cave bears weren't your average grizzly. They were bigger, bulkier, and often shared the same shelters as early humans. Standing up to 11 feet tall and weighing more than 1,500 pounds, they were among the most powerful animals in Ice Age Europe. They primarily fed on plants, but make no mistake, if provoked or threatened, they could become incredibly dangerous. Humans and cave bears often sought out the same caves for shelter, especially during harsh winters, which may have led to deadly confrontations. Some archaeological sites contain cave bear skulls, deliberately arranged in patterns, possibly for ritual or symbolic purposes. This hints at something deeper, a respect for the animal, or even an early form of bear worship. They weren't just wild beasts, they were mythic figures in the minds of those who lived with them. Thanks to pop culture, the dire wolf might seem fictional, but it was very real, and arguably even more impressive than its fantasy counterpart. Bigger and stronger than the modern gray wolf, the dire wolf roamed North and South America in vast packs. Its jaw was more robust, built for crushing bone. Unlike wolves today, dire wolves were ambush predators, capable of taking down giant prey like bison and young mammoths. Fossils found at the La Brea tar pits show they often scavenge in groups, which led them into natural traps alongside saber-toothed cats and occasionally human remains. The overlap in hunting territory between early humans and dire wolves must have created moments of tension and fear. We weren't always the top of the food chain sometimes. We were the ones being stalked. Imagine a bird that stood 12 feet tall and weighed nearly 600 pounds. That's the moa, New Zealand's flightless giant. These towering herbivores had no mammalian predators for millions of years, which made them slow-moving and fearless. That all changed when the Maui arrived around the 13th century. With no defenses and nowhere to run, the moa became a staple food source. Every part of the bird was used: meat for sustenance, bones for tools, feathers for clothing. Within just a couple centuries, the moa was extinct. It's a tragic yet fascinating case of how quickly human colonization could reshape an entire ecosystem. The moa's only natural predator was even more terrifying: the Haast's eagle. This colossal bird had a wingspan of up to 10 feet and weighed nearly 30 pounds. It had talons like daggers and could kill prey several times its size. Haast's eagle would dive at over 50 miles per hour, striking the neck or back of the moa with lethal precision. For thousands of years, it was New Zealand's aerial apex predator, and it may have occasionally targeted humans as well. Some Maori legends speak of giant birds that could snatch people from the ground. These stories may have been more than myth. They could have been collective memories passed down from real encounters with Haast's eagle. If you merged an armadillo with a tank, you'd get something like the Glyptodon. This armored mammal could reach the size of a Volkswagen Beetle, with a bony shell several inches thick and a tail club strong enough to break bones. Glyptodons grazed the open plains of South America and coexisted with early humans for thousands of years. They weren't aggressive, but they were tough and valuable. Their shells were sometimes used as makeshift shelters by humans after a successful hunt, but that usefulness may have led to their extinction. Like many megafauna, Glyptodons likely disappeared due to a combination of human hunting and climate change. They represent the strange, armored side of Earth's history, one where defense was evolution's answer to predators. Castaroides was no ordinary beaver. It was a rodent the size of a black bear, measuring up to 8 feet long and weighing over 200 pounds. This beaver lived in Ice Age lakes and wetlands across North America. Its oversized front teeth weren't just for show. They were built for gnawing through heavy wood and defending against predators. It likely built dens and underwater tunnels, though not quite the same engineered dams we see from modern beavers. Native Americans may have encountered and hunted the giant beaver. Some researchers even believe these creatures played a vital role in shaping wetland environments which early humans depended on for freshwater and food. Their extinction around 10,000 years ago lines up eerily well with the expansion of human populations into their habitats. We weren't always alone at the top. For most of our time on Earth, we lived shoulder to shoulder with giants. Some were deadly, some were useful, all were unforgettable. They shaped the way we hunted, adapted, and evolved. And though they're gone, their bones and their stories are still with us. Which of these ancient creatures fascinates you the most? Would you want to see any of them resurrected with modern science? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more mind-blowing journeys into our ancient past.